I think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what you are.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of
I have to tell you something. If someone said that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would put my fist through his face.
I don't think Ivanka would do that. Inside the magazine? Although she does have a pretty great figure. I've said that. If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know, stop it. Oh, it's so odd. Stop it. You know what you are. My daughter is gorgeous. Ivanka, she, by the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A bit of I have to tell you something. If someone commented that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would punch my fist through his face. You can call it spooky humor. You can call it horrible parenting. But when a father jokes on live radio about dating his own daughter and then nods along as Howard Stern calls her a gorgeous piece of you, not only raising eyebrows, you're raising alarms. Now those tapes are back. Amid the spotlight and Ivanka's excellent PR mask, let's just say it's not holding up. Well, all statements in this video are factual. Stay with me because the section, they didn't want you to hear it coming. You know who's one of the great beauties of the planet according to each, and I helped create her? Who? Ivanka. My daughter Ivanka. Yeah. She's 6 feet tall. She's got the...
You know who's one of the great beauties of the world, according to everybody, and I helped create her?
Who?
Ivanka. My daughter,
is.
Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
Ivanka Trump, most beautiful girl in the world. You know, I would marry her. These types of things, most people, certainly politicians, don't say. That would have Trump opened.
best body. Ivanka Trump. Most lovely girl in the world. You know, I would marry her. These types of items, most individuals, certainly politicians, don't say. That would. Trump opens by introducing his daughter, as if he were revealing a luxury real estate project. And Stern, never one toe passes on a punchline, proposes to marry her. And the most telling part, Trump just sits there smiling like this is a perfectly typical father-daughter chat for national radio. And what followed was a constant flood of remarks that made the audience wonder if Trump's idea of fatherhood comes with a swimwear competition. Subscribe now, since Trump didn't just say it once and we've got the tapes to prove it. What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father? Either real estate or golf Donald with your daughter. Well, I was going to mention sex, but I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter, and he was in the front row when Ivanka stepped, short-lived career as a fashion model. Still, Donald Trump.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that. I can't relate that.
Donald Trump has always been proud of his daughter, and he was front row when Ivanka took to the catwalk during her short-lived career as a fashion model. Still, Donald Trump repeatedly points out how hot his daughter is, saying last year in a Rolling Stone article, "Yeah, she's really something, and what a beauty that one. If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father."
At some point,
Regularly points out how hot his daughter is, saying last year in a Rolling Stone story, "Yeah, she's definitely something, and what a beauty that one. If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father." At some point, it ceased sounding like father was proud and started feeling like a man pitching a brand. From fashion displays to magazine quotations to awkward talk show situations, Trump kept describing Ivanka the way most people describe a product they're trying to sell. Beautiful, marketable, off limits, but barely. And every time he added another compliment, the room didn't warm, it winced. But what followed next on Howard Stern's radio show would strip away any uncertainty. Far from safeguarding his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it several times on Howard Stern's radio show in 2004, and then again.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a sex object, he has encouraged it multiple times. On Howard Stern's radio show in 2004, and then again in 2006.
by the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's tall.
unbelievable.
She's almost 6 feet tall.
By the time Trump
In
called
2006. By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A bit of fast. She looks more voluptuous than ever. She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's almost 6 feet tall. By the time Trump called Ivanka tall, gorgeous, voluptuous, it didn't feel like a father talking. It felt like a pageant judge reciting his own script. And the craziest thing, he stated it like it was the weather. No difference in tone, no touch of embarrassment, just another comment on national radio regarding his own daughter. And while the crowd laughed along, someone else had to live with those words. Ivanka, what did he say to you, father? Daughter about that? Well, he recognizes.
Say to you, father to daughter, about that.
Well, he recognizes it was crude language. He was embarrassed that he had said those things, and he apologized. This is, that's not language consistent with any conversation I've ever had with him, certainly, or any conversation that I've overheard.
and while the audience
It was
laughed,
crude. Language. He was ashamed that if he had spoken those things, and he apologized. This is, that's not language consistent with any conversation I've ever had with him. Certainly, or any discourse that I've ever heard. And as the audience chuckled, Ivanka have to go on record. Asked what her father mentioned to her about the access. Hollywood tape, she offers the safest line in the book. He was humiliated. He apologized. And it's not language she's ever heard from him. It's polished, it's poised, and it's practically impossible to square with a lifetime of hot mic moments. Ivanka continues to defend her father and has stated he is not sexist. Earlier, her Twitter account showed a little, heart like an article about her father's decade-old statements to Howard Stern. The Trump campaign led us to Ivanka's brand manager and a source. Somebody tells us it wasn't Ivanka who personally enjoyed the thing. It was a quote. A simple mistake by a staff member. Even off camera, the
Ivanka
defense.
continues to defend her father and has said he is not sexist. Earlier, her Twitter account showed a little heart liking an article about her father's decade-old comments to Howard Stern. The Trump campaign directed us to Ivanka's brand manager, and a source there tells us it wasn't Ivanka who personally liked the item. It was, quote, a simple mistake by a staff member.
even off camera.
Never stops. CNN reports Ivanka has publicly stated her father isn't sexist. And when her Twitter account liked a provocative post, the explanation was that a staffer did it by mistake. It's the kind of neat housekeeping that keeps the brand intact, but also keeps the questions piling up. And while Trump didn't seem to hear the alarm bells, the rest of America did. And Cher. She didn't simply flinch, she fired back. Stick around, this is where it bursts. 2, have to tell you something. If someone commented that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would punch my fist through his face. Someone who would bring down the country because he doesn't win does not deserve anything. Does not deserve nothing. He deserves nothing. He does not deserve any type of respect, loyalty. I don't think he has two morals. Strands to rub together. He wants to bet the king, but he doesn't want to perform the work. Cher doesn't hold back. She turns one. Offhand comment into a full-blown character verdict. In her view, a father who speaks that way about his daughter has already informed you of all you need to know about his regard for women and his
Tell you
eye.
something. If someone said that my daughter was a hot piece of ass, I would put my fist through his face. Someone who would bring down the country because he doesn't win does not deserve anything, deserves nothing. He deserves nothing. He does not deserve any kind of respect, loyalty. I don't think he has two moral fibers to rub together. He wants to be the king, but he doesn't want to do the work.
Cher doesn't hold back.
Readiness to lead. No need for political debates. In Cher's book, the Anne exam was given, and Trump flunked it. Before the first question. He was brought up rich. He had a good head. Got a decent education. He's got all these young chicks. I don't know how young, but he's got all these young chicks, and he just continues swapping them in on younger chicks. And yeah, he's got all this money, and he's renowned, and still, he's so terrible and so mean. Cher pushes past the shock value and paints the greater picture. Trump's life as a revolving door of younger ladies fueled by wealth and ego. It's not just vanity. It's entitlement on an industrial scale. It's the pattern that matters. And trends don't lie. I have never been so appreciative for an ellipsis throughout my life. After Cher's second strike, Trevor slips. In with a well-timed jab, grateful for the ellipsis that spared us whatsoever came next from Trump's mouth. A pause, a smirk, and the crowd is primed for the following blow. But Stern offered a blunt message to his listeners who,
Rich, he had a good education. He's got all these young chicks. I don't know how young, but he's got all these young chicks. And he just keeps trading them in on younger chicks. And he's got all this money, and he's famous, and still he's such a so horrible and so mean.
Cher moves past
support this guy these days. Take a listen. The strangeness in all of this is the individuals. Trump despises most, adore him the most. Go check at Mar-a-Lago. See whether there's any folks that look like you. I'm talking to you in the audience. That the Trump voter who you know idolizes the guy. He despises you. I don't hate Donald. Donald's doing his thing. I despise you for voting for him. Stern doesn't even waste time insulting Trump. He goes for the audience. His point is terrible. The man you idolize wouldn't even want to share a room with you. And somehow that's who you pick to entrust power to. If loyalty means cheering for the man who looks down on you, maybe it's not loyalty. Maybe it's merely volunteering to be the punchline. And Trump has everything to lose. He could lose the next election. He could go to jail after he gets out of office. So he has a lot to lose. The another thing about Howard is that I admire so much is that he has gone through an remarkable metamorphosis. It's our reminder that the time is ticking for Trump, not just on the campaign road, but in courtrooms. And when a man's trapped like that, the skeletons
I've never been so grateful for an ellipsis in my life.
after Cher's double
in his closets don't stay concealed. They start heading out on their own. Which is why, before we talk about what Trump said, discussing ladies on Howard Stern's show, remember these aren't old jokes. They're exhibits waiting for a trial. You treat ladies with respect. I can't say that either. All right. Good. All right. Somewhere in between. I do. I treat ladies, I treat women with tremendous regard. Treat women somewhere in between respect and doo-doo. When most people are asked if they treat women with respect, the solution is a simply, yeah. For Trump, it's somewhere between respect and crap. That's not a slip of the tongue. That's a window into how he truly ranks half the population. And if that's his best respond on live radio, you can...
Stern gave a blunt message to his listeners who support this guy these days. Take a listen.
The oddity in all of this is the people Trump despises most love him the most. Go look at Mar-a-Lago, see if there's any people that look like you. I'm talking to you in the audience. The Trump voter who, idolizes the guy. He despises you. I don't hate Donald. Donald's doing his thing. I hate you for voting for him.
Stern doesn't
if you're the same dude and suspects your policies are theater. That's not merely a political rift. It's a credibility crisis. It's hard to market a moral compass when the people who knew, you best assume you bought it. Last week. His level of narcissism is so strong. He has problems with empathy. We know that. And, I wish he'd go into psychotherapy. I'd be so proud of him if he did. He would blossom. But he never has. I mean, he never would. There's no way. I do not believe he's ever done psychotherapy. I don't think he likes being president at all. When you're labeled a narcissist and folks assume you don't even like the job, it makes you think, was the Oval is the...
To lose. He could lose the next election. He could go to jail when he gets out of office. So he has a lot to lose. The other thing about Howard is that I admire so much is he has gone through an incredible metamorphosis.
It's a reminder.
I can't say that either.
All right, good, all right. Somewhere in between.
I treat women with great respect.
Treat women somewhere in between respect and doo-doo.
When most people
weren't slips of the tongue. They were a pattern executed in public and defended in private. For voters, the question writes itself. If this is the image he's comfortable with, displaying the world, what does the unseen version look like? When CNN unearthed such clips in 2016, The laughs from Howard Stern's studio had long vanished. What was left was a reel of eyebrow, raising moments that said more about Donald Trump than any political ad ever could. These weren't slips of the tongue. They were a pattern executed in public and defended in private. For voters, the question writes itself. If this is the image he's comfortable with, displaying the world, what does the unseen version look like? This video is based on publicly available interviews, news coverage, and comments. It is designed for analysis, criticism, and public interesting conversation under fair usage. Thy thoughts, expressed, are for informational and entertainment purposes and should not be considered as definitive assertions of fact regarding any individual. If you believe a leader's words count as much as their actions, share this video. Leave a comment with your ideas. Do you think their remarks convey more than intended? And don't forget to subscribe, so you won't miss our next deep dive.